Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to another market open stream. There are a lot of topics that I want to discuss, including Fed minutes, what the Fed plans on doing, more indicators and models showing Bitcoin's bottom, and we have a lot more to discuss, excuse me, about Terra Luna 2.0. It's coming. And how much will you be airdropped? Let's discuss all these things this morning. All right, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Follow me on social media. Check out CryptosRUs.com and follow me on the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Welcome, 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 guys. Can't help but laugh. I'm reading some of these comments in live chat. It's always entertaining. All right, so let's see what's going on this morning. Well, about 4 minutes before open bell rings, futures market a little bit in the red, although I think it's going to be somewhat, I don't know, sideways or near zero until we hear from this guy. Well, he's not going to be doing a press conference, but you know, these FOMC meetings, whenever they happen, the minutes, the report does not get released until the month afterwards. Okay, so what we're getting today, somewhere around noontime, is the FOMC meetings, which basically reports what was discussed last month. And we already know what was reported last month. Powell did a press conference. I did a live stream. He already said 50 basis points increase for the next two meetings, including the last one, so it'll be 3 in a row. And the Fed will shed their balance sheet starting June 1st. So these are things that we already know of. But whenever these FOMC minutes or Fed minutes come out, you know, the market tends to react right away, even though we already know what was said. But sometimes the traders find like one piece of language or one sentence or word that kind of spooks them. So I think the markets today will probably be relatively flat until we hear or until these minutes come out. So that is the big thing that's coming out from the Fed. And also tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Friday, we will get some inflation numbers. This is the PCE. So it's a little bit different than CPI. This is measuring basically the price of goods and services and how much they have gone up. And look at this, it's expected to go down, just like CPI. CPI went down from March to April. So this is also expected to go down from March to April, and we will see if that is true. There are already talks about after the next 2 rate hikes, the Fed may stop their rate hikes because basically it looks like inflation has peaked and is starting to come down, at least according to at least 2 months data. We will see what happens when we get that data for next month, whether or not that trend is going to continue. And if so, that would be a very positive thing. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if that's really the case. All right, so that is the big thing that's going on for stocks today, the U.S. market. But there are, of course, other things I want to talk about. This, I think, I don't know what to think of this. All right, someone sent a super chat about elemental dragons. Okay, well, good for you guys, I guess. It is morning bell. So, I guess this is good and bad. Not that we need validation from a bank like JPMorgan, but they are the biggest bank in the world. And they said something pretty positive about Bitcoin today. First of all, they think Bitcoin's floor price should be 28% higher than where it is now. They think Bitcoin should be around 38,000. I don't know how they calculated that, but they think Bitcoin is oversold right now, and it should be around 38,000. That's number one. Number two, which is interesting, JPMorgan now finds Bitcoin to be a better alternative asset, and they see it better than buying real estate. That is the shocking thing, I think, that just came out. So the price you could debate over any day, and a lot of people have their own opinions about where price is. But JP Morgan is now saying that as an alternative asset, rather than buy real estate, crypto and Bitcoin is more attractive. It's the preferred alternative asset. So I mean that's saying a lot. But again, JP Morgan, they tend to flip-flop, and depends on which analyst you're talking to. And Jamie Dimon, of course, the CEO, is still no fan of Bitcoin and crypto, yet he is letting his company run wild and getting involved with all aspects of crypto. But this is kind of interesting, right? So this, I guess, is positive. I guess it is positive. It is positive, but again, Bitcoin and Bitcoiners don't need endorsement from JP Morgan, but it's there. Also, Mastercard, another company that will probably die out because of crypto and Lightning Network in the future. They're optimistic on crypto despite the market meltdown, and they made an example about how no one imagined that Amazon could even be an idea without the internet. Amazon would not function without the internet. And this is what they're saying right now. Without blockchain, there's no way you can have all these future dApp makers, right? Some that we can't even imagine that could become as big as Amazon one day. I think that's what their point is, that they are not letting go of this thing because they don't want to become a dinosaur. They don't want to be extinct. And they remain optimistic. So, also pretty positive. And A16Z, which is one of the biggest VC firms out there, they have just announced a $4.5 billion fund for crypto and blockchain startups. Obviously, A16Z is not giving up. This is from Andreessen Horowitz, and they are absolutely huge in the crypto space. But again, it shows you how much money there is waiting to enter the space, right? And there will be a lot of money entering this space. There's no doubt about it. All right, so I want to lead off with those things. Bitcoin is back to 29.6. Last night, when I was streaming, went back above 30,000. Looks like right now it wants to go back. It dipped a little bit, and then now it wants to go back to 30,000. But Bitcoin is still stuck in this range, but it's itching to break out. We've been here for so long, and there are so many models and metrics that show that bottom have already formed. And here's another one. Last night I showed a few more. Here's one from Plan C. This is Z-score, rate of change of supply last active 1+ year ago. And in Bitcoin's history, only 4 times has it been in this green range, and whenever it has reached a green range and it started flipping above, you could see that's when Bitcoin went on tremendous runs. Usually it happens during the low of a bear market. Okay, so you can see 2012, 2015, 2018, right? Every single time it dipped this low was actually the bottom of the bear market within a 4-year cycle. And afterwards, quickly, I shouldn't say quickly, but you could see the results of what has happened afterwards. And look at where we are now, right? We are actually not only deep in the green, but we are flipping above. So, again, another one of those metrics that has held true for the last 12 years for Bitcoin is now showing that we have found a bottom and we are now in recovery mode for Bitcoin. Very, very positive. Here's another one. This is the Mayor Multiple Bans. And again, just kind of showing how oversold Bitcoin is. And whenever you have very, very oversold levels, just like March of 2020 during the COVID crash, right? You could see when you hit the very, very bottom layer of the band, Bitcoin is very oversold, and that's usually when it flips above and starts rising again. So again, there's so many of these metrics. There's so many, right? And if it's just one or two, I guess you could just discount it, but there's like dozens of these models and metrics that's been measuring Bitcoin, not just for a year or two. It goes all the way back to the beginning, all the way back to 2010, right? Measuring the entire lifespan of Bitcoin. And all of these are pointing to the fact that we have found bottom and we are ready to run, right? So I'm showing you guys, but regardless, if they're right or if they're all wrong, let's just pretend they're all wrong. Every single one is wrong. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. The strategy doesn't change for me. I'll continue to hodl. I'll continue to DCA and continue to wait until things come back, and they always do, and they come back stronger than ever. So that's honestly, the strategy does not change. But it is very encouraging that all these metrics and all these models and indicators is showing a reversal as we speak. All right, so that's Bitcoin. What else is there? Bitcoin is starting to come up a little bit more. That's positive. 29.7, 29, maybe 30,000 again, right around the corner. I know a lot of you guys love XRP, want to only DC XRP. Well, you know what, Brad? He says right after the SEC lawsuit, which will probably still carry for a while into 2023 and maybe well into 2023. Well, he does believe that. He believes that he will. They will go IPO. They basically want to become a publicly traded company. I don't know. I don't know if this is a good thing or not. Because, when look at what's happening with Coinbase right now and what's happening with MicroStrategy and the mining stocks, right? They're being hammered by Wall Street. So I don't know if Ripple going IPO is actually going to be a positive thing. I could see why they want to do it because they want to raise funds and then they could change their business model where they no longer have to sell XRP to being profitable, right? They could just sell stock instead. So I could see why they would want to do that. But if Wall Street continues to hammer crypto stocks, they will definitely hammer Ripple, especially during the correction phases, right? So that's something to consider. But I'm sure Brad knows what he's doing, and we will see when this occurs. Now, lastly, what's going on? Well, got to talk about Luna 2.0. People are calling it Luna 2.0, but it's really Terra 2.0. So this fork or non-fork is happening. It was voted. 65.5% of the votes voted yes, we want a new Luna, okay, which is going to be called Terra 2.0, and the existing one will be renamed Terra Classic. But there is some controversy over this, and it's something I missed over the last few days, but I'm going to share it. But yeah, this has been voted in, and Binance, CZ, of Binance was not a fan of this new idea, did not like the lack of communication, didn't like a whole lot of things, but they're in the business of selling crypto or letting users trade crypto. So they are working with Terra right now. And they're most likely to go support airdrop. Not most likely, they will for sure. And I don't know if someone like KuCoin will be, because KuCoin is also the second biggest exchange that deals with Terra and Luna. So most likely Binance will be supporting it, but I don't know what else is going to be coming out of Binance. But yeah, so this has passed. So it's not going to be a fork, okay? It's going to be a brand new chain. Even though it is a fork, but Do Kwon is saying it's not a fork. Basically, they're going to take what exists now, they're going to change the number of tokens, and my team found this for me. So this will give you exactly the number of new Luna 2.0 tokens based on what you held before with Luna and UST and what you're holding now. And the snapshot will happen on the 27th, okay, all the way up. So the new chain will be active on the 27th. So I guess there's still time to buy Luna if you wanted to get the airdrop, but there is no guarantee at all that the new Luna 2.0 will have any value at all. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if you're trying to speculate, you're like, I'm just going to load up right now and try to like get all in. Keep in mind right afterwards, after the airdrop, Luna Classic could be dumping, and the new Luna 2.0 could be dumping too. So be very, very, very careful. But this whoever created this did a really good job to show you the allocation of pre-Luna holders before the DPEG gets about 30%, 35% allocation, 10% pre-UST holders, and then post gets 15% and 10%, and the vesting schedule, what you get at Genesis, and how much you get per day. So, for example, if you had, let's say, 1,000 Luna before, okay, and then let's say you had 10,000 UST before. So, in total, this is what you have, 11,000, right? But you will get 77 UST, or 77 Luna from the UST that you held before, and 306 based on the Luna you held before. So at Genesis, you get 383 new tokens. Okay, I don't know what they're going to be worth. They could be worth $1. They could be worth $10, $100. I don't know what it is. And then you can see the vesting schedule. So eventually you'll get 895, but you're not going to get any of that until 6 months, and then you're going to start getting it basically every month. So after 6 months, you'll get 7.5 every month, and then here you get 29 every month, and basically eventually after 2 years, you'll get up to 895. Okay, so that is how it's calculating. And I'm going to post this link in the description, and so if you want to calculate yourself, feel free to do so. But basically, this is going to happen, and you can calculate how much you're getting. Now, I don't know where it's going to be airdropped, whether or not it's going to be in your Luna wallet, your Terra Station wallet, or on your Binance account. I'm sure probably Binance account and KuCoin account, although I didn't hear KuCoin come out and saying they're supporting this. But for everyone else that had your Luna, some people asked about, what about my Luna that was like staked in the Luna's NFT marketplace, or if it was in Wormhole, or if it was staked on a DeFi liquidity pool, stuff like that. I'm guessing they were smart enough to look at where your Luna was being held before, probably on the Terra Station wallet, and they'll airdrop that way. I don't know. There's still a lot of question marks. And I don't know what's going to happen with Terra Classic. Is there going to be any kind of burning involved besides people volunteering to burning? Who's going to be supporting it? Is there going to be any support? Stuff like this still unanswered. Oh, and by the way, that controversy I was going to talk about, 65% voted yes, and people were wondering why the yeses were so strong. So people connected the dots. On May 12th, Luna Foundation Guard converted 883 million UST into Luna, 221 million Luna, and then they used that to stake in all the validators spread out because they said that the network was going to get attacked, right? And then after that, they shut it down so you can't stake anymore. So basically, 60% of the Luna that's staking the validators is controlled by the Luna Foundation Guard. So that explains why the yes is above 60%, because 60% of the voting power belonged to the Luna Foundation Guard. That is why it went through, because they already knew that this was going to go through. They already controlled 60% of the votes, so that is why it passed. So yeah, there's definitely some controversy there. All right, that's pretty much it. Now let's do some Q&A. Early plays. I'm 20 minutes away from that school. Uvalde. Send some George Love, brother. Lord knows we could use it. Yeah, it's a very tragic thing. I mentioned last night. So I have young kids too. Can't imagine what the parents are going through. So I send my love and prayers to them, to all the parents and anyone that's just really affected by this. So it's a very, very, very sad situation. Yeah, so the Fed minutes I talked about, market says is at 2 p.m. Eastern, so 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So U.S. markets, let's see. Ooh, it actually flipped into green, but it's probably going to be flat. It's going to be like most likely just near zero until the Fed minutes come out and then people read it and digest it and make sure there's nothing new that wasn't said during the press conference. I mean, everything was already said in the press conference. I don't know what could come out from Fed minutes that would be a surprise at this point. Daimyo Crypto. I am new to this channel. Is George your real name? Well, I guess you'll never know. If I said yes, would you believe me? Clout, stop trying to spread FUD. But what you said is true. Any company can do a rug pull. There's a lot of companies. KuCoin is based in Singapore. Crypto.com is in Singapore. There's a lot of companies that's based in Singapore because they're very pro crypto. And yes, they could all do a rug pull if they wanted to, but will they? And is it likely they will? No. So stop trying to spread FUD. What are your thoughts on Akala, Web 2.0, 3.0 bridge being built on Polkadot? I have seen them before. I don't really have much thoughts. I haven't paid close attention to them, but there are a lot of projects like them that are building bridges, right, to connect. And there's a lot of interesting things on Polkadot, like Moonbeam, for example. It's an EVM compatible chain that's essentially forming a bridge from Ethereum to Polkadot, right? So there's a lot of projects like that. Josh, do you know if pre-attack also means pre-halt? Because I bought some before it actually stopped, but it was crashing. They already have the block like identified, and I don't know the exact block number, but it is the point right before the peg happens. So if you bought after the depeg happens, that would be post. So I think they're considering anything before the depeg. So that's post and pre. Will Make It said, someone just tweeted that U.S. is filing a lawsuit within 10 weeks on Kraken, Coinbase, Binance for UST security violations. I think that's I don't know if that's true, but there's maybe not. I don't see how they could declare a security violation, especially if the SEC did not declare them security. What happened to Harmony 1? Nothing. I mean, it just got really weak. DeFi Kingdoms got really weak. I mean, the entire market got really weak, obviously, but some of the smaller caps, they got hit harder than, of course, some of the others, the other big caps. So that's really what happened. Do I still believe in them? Yes. Nothing has changed. Just because the pricing went down? No. They're still a great project. If I'm waiting to buy the new Terra on Friday, will it be as simple as going to the exchange and purchasing it? Yes. Yes, it will, as long as the exchange supports it. So, they have to, all the exchanges that support it will have to rename the existing Luna token. They're going to call it Luna C, so Luna Classic. and the new one would just be called Luna. So be careful, right? Hopefully exchanges, educate people and people don't get confused on which one is which. So the existing one will be renamed to Luna C. The new one will be called Luna. So, yeah, I was gonna post this in the description, but if people that want to use this, I'll just post in the live chat right now too. Nick, I like you, but please talk about something else. You tell me what you want to talk about. This is something that almost no one has experience with, other than if you have a large channel like mine and you stream twice a day, is that content is not as easy as it seems. There's only so many things you could talk about, and you got to cater to what people want to hear. So a lot of people will say, George, you talked about this. You say the same thing over every day. Well, not everyone tunes in every day. And second of all, there's really not much else to talk about. Judo, exactly. Some people just don't get it. I get people are sick of hearing about Terra. I get people that hate it. They think it's a scam, and they don't like Do Kwon. Trust me, I'm one of those people because I hold an enormous amount that have basically disappeared to zero. But there are a lot of people that wants to see what happens. And after this, we'll see what happens. We won't have to wait much longer. Only 2 more days. 2 more days. Will the new chain be successful, or will it just dump just like the existing chain? Storm Detector. Come on now. That's just too ridiculous. South Korean embezzlement charges. Yeah. So they asked all the South Korean exchanges to block any access for the Luna Foundation Guard, but it's based on a volunteer basis. They're not demanding it, right? So I don't know. A lot of those stories coming out of South Korea, I wonder if they're true or not, because there's so many coming out, just like the fact that they owe Do Kwon owes $78 million worth of taxes, stuff like that. Do Kwon says no, he doesn't. So I don't know if that's true. And this embezzlement thing, I don't know if that's true, or this is all FUD. Who knows? Nashios, hi. Do you own any metaverse coins? Gala, Mana, Sand. Yes, I do. I like all three. But if I had to choose, I like Sandbox over Mana. I like the way they're positioning themselves. I think the game, it's just more fun. And Gala is a gaming platform. So I do think as a gaming platform, they're not limited to just one game. They're always bringing new game makers and coming out their own games. So I think they have a lot of potential. Rich and everyone else that's saying stop promoting scams. Did you guys even listen to what I said? I'm very negative towards Luna. And I'm bringing up the controversies. Yet there's a lot of people that they don't even listen to what I'm saying. And they're saying stop promoting it. Stop shilling it. Stop talking about it. Yet they have not heard a single thing I've said. Okay. What application do you use for candlestick charts? Like what I'm showing right now, this is TradingView. Almost everyone uses TradingView. There's a few other terminals out there, but TradingView is what everyone sticks with, and it's pretty good. Neil, that's exactly right. XRP video. You know what? I forgot to show it last night. I mentioned about XRP in my educational video that some people have still not have seen yet, but I guess I will have to show this because of this big news. Worth buying Tesla stock at this price. You know, that's interesting. Someone actually asked me that on my car channel yesterday. Tesla, just like Bitcoin, has been also very, very oversold recently. So they are down tremendously from their 1100 high down to about 637. So almost a 50% drop, close to it, right? I believe in Tesla. I do believe that when it comes to battery production and infrastructure, especially for charging, no one is anywhere close. And even though that Tesla cars, in terms of quality and comfort and luxury, even though it does, these things pale compared to the German luxury brands, it doesn't really matter because when it comes to EV game, if you can't charge it and you can't produce enough cars due to lack of battery, you go lose, right? So that's where I think Tesla's gonna win this game, and no one's gonna be close. So, yeah, I would say it's pretty attractive buy. I don't know. There was rumors about a Tesla 5-for-1 split again. I don't know if that's gonna be announced soon, but yeah. Samurai, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Looks like you have bought Tesla shares. Actually, I don't hold any Tesla shares. I don't really dab into stocks. But if I was buying stocks, it would be Tesla would be among them. Lars says, I have to keep playing that Ripple video. Well, I guess I'll have to. Any news on the Musk Twitter situation? Not really. You know, I think Elon is asking for, a discount based on all the bot usage, but no one knows what percentage of the accounts on Twitter are actually bots and what percentage is real. They actually don't know, or they can't disclose it because they're gonna be sued if they do. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there's been a lot of Elon news recently. Like Bill Gates somehow has discovered he's behind this dark fund to purposely spread FUD about Elon and this Twitter hostile takeover. I guess I don't know if it's hostile, but takeover. But like Bill Gates is really against Elon. It just sounds like he's really jealous or he has some kind of bigger agenda. I mean, it was revealed that Bill Gates has a $500 million short on Tesla, and now it's revealed that he's backing this huge fund, and the only purpose of that fund is to spread FUD about Elon. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Bill Gates. He went from being a tech giant, a tech hero, to someone that no one trusts anymore. I really don't get it. Yeah. Anyways, have you heard of the GMT token to not step in? Yeah, it's Genesis. It was like Genesis mining, right? So basically, their token is based on hash rate of their mining farm. So I have promoted them before, and some people have said they use them and they get paid out pretty well. I personally never used them, but yeah, I've heard of them before. James says his mom got him the big IBM contract that made Windows big. Well, sometimes you get lucky. As you get lucky. But, Windows and Microsoft changed the world, okay? There's no doubt Microsoft today is stronger than ever, but I just don't know what happened with Bill Gates. Like, his whole thing, about saving the planet and solving diseases and all this stuff, all the humanitarian stuff that he's been doing sounds like it's great. He's using his money for good. But now you're hearing about all this stuff, all this bad stuff, about what he may be behind, and it's incredible to see how he's turned. In the movies you have these like evil geniuses or whatever. He's looking like a real world, like one of those villains. All right, a little off topic. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin is still kind of stuck in this range. Is it going to flip, or we're going to see a big movement soon? Maybe after this Friday. I've talked about options and future expiration. Maybe that's what's holding it down. But there are a lot of really good models and metrics that does show Bitcoin is ready to move. But today, U.S. markets will be held back because people want to know what the Fed minutes say. Who knows what it's going to say? Most likely nothing, but the markets will wait for it. And, of course, we have the new Luna 2 coming out that I'm not hopeful for. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm guessing that it will dump as soon as it comes out. And the existing one will probably dump more because I just don't see anything that's going to cause excitement in this new chain and any excitement in what Do Kwon does in the future. I just don't see it. But, we have 2 more days until it happens. All right, guys, I will let you guys go. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I will leave you guys with the most educational XRP video you have ever seen.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.